Good afternoon, welcome to Manik IS. We'll discuss today operating system. In previous classes, we have discussed memory, CPU, software. Today, we'll discuss operating system, right? What is this operating system? Operating system means it is the most important system software. It is an essential software to operate computer system. What do you mean by that? Suppose you are using a mobile that is of Android. Android is operating system. Or you are using Apple mobile, then iOS is the operating system, right? Or you are using suppose a laptop that is most of the laptops are of software of operating system is Windows, right? Windows is the mostly used operating systems. So these are the operating system that is inbuilt in the mobile which you cannot change, and this operating system operates all applications of the system or of the mobile or the laptop. An operating system manages computer resources very effectively. It manages all the computer resources very effectively. Takes care of scheduling of multiple jobs of execution, manages flow of data instructions between input and output units and memory. So especially so here it says that all the internal functions, for example, scheduling of multiple jobs. Suppose you are just clicking on a video, right? There is a video file inside your mobile and you are just clicking it, right? Then what happens? The operating systems gives the direction to the monitor to display the video. It also gives the directions to the audio output to produce the output as audio output, right? So it directs the multiple organs simultaneously to work. You just click on one thing. You just click on the memory, right? So simultaneously what happens? It derives it derives the content from the memory that directs again directs to the monitor, again directs to the sound output system. So these all the things are conducted by operating system. Then next, first operating system is called as batch processing operating system. Batch processing operating system that developed the second generation computer. Now we are using 10th in 2015 10th generation computer came, right? 10 or recently developed suppose 11th generation computer. So the first operating system that developed for the second generation computer. The operating system executes jobs serially, one after another from a batch of jobs submitted to execution. It executes a job serially, one after another. I have already explained that thing by example. The central processing unit is kept busy during the processing cycle of the job and remains idle during input and output system. Here let's study the central processing unit. It is one of the major component of computer, but during the processing of job it remains busy. It works. What is the job of central processing unit? One by one execution of tasks. Right. For example, I have given direct the monitor, direct the sound output system, direct the take the data from the memory. This is the job of central processing unit, execution of different programs or different programs. But during the input and output system, when input is given, that is related to input devices. That input is received by the input devices or input and during output operations. For example, output operation monitor is doing its work. After monitor got the direction to work, and after it start playing the video, there is no job of central processing unit or CPU. A multi-programming operating system handles multiple jobs simultaneously. Multiple jobs simultaneously is handled by a multi-programming operating system. By overlapping input and output processing cycle of various jobs. For suppose in a particular in a small software company, there is various direction. Suppose one there is system softwares which control various laptops. Then there may be multi-programming. There may be multiple operation system, and various works will come simultaneously, and they works. And in also, in case of laptop, we are opening various pages, we are working on different system. Somewhere we are working the in at the same time we may click on the PowerPoint system, at the same time we will click on a video, and the both will work, right? So multiple systems are happening, so there is overlapping of input and output process. These things will happen, right? So multi-programming operating system that handle multiple jobs. Next, other type of operating system which are popular today are multi-programming operating system or real-time operating system. We have already discussed this multi-processing operating system. And multi-processing operating systems uses multiple CPUs to process multiple jobs. A real-time operating system is a type of interactive operating system with strict time limitation. So now let's learn the difference. The difference between multi-processing operating system and interactive operating system with strict time limitation. That means within a particular time you have to give the output. Receiving the and processing data is done quickly enough to produce the output to control direct effect and outcome of ongoing activity. Reservation by used by railway system. This reservation used by railway and hotel and airlines are the example of real-time applications. Here they have to give the output within a few span of minutes. Right? Even if suppose you have booked the one ticket, then immediately one ticket become vacant. Right? All these things are done in a strict time limitation. That is interactive operating system. Then another thing, a multi-processing operating system that needs multiple uses. For example, in banking systems that are used in banking systems, right? Or in a particular organization, suppose different laptops are linked to each other, then there will be multiple operating systems. They will perform multiple jobs at a particular instant of time. Then operating system governs the working of the computer input and output devices. Working of the computer, that means if the printer is the job of the printer, it is an output device, suppose printer, right? The job of a printer is to print. Then who will direct the printer to print? That is the responsibility of operating system. And suppose input system as well. Suppose input is given, who will analyze the input? Who will there is a program that will analyze the input what you have asked, right? Suppose you have clicked on a by touchscreen you have clicked on a video file, then what will happen? The operating system will understand the input. That input is given to open the video file. So all these things are done by the operating system. The operating system programs to act as an interface between users programs and computer components and helps the execution of users programs, right? It acts as an interface between users program, what you are asking it will understand, and computer component, then it will direct different component to work. First you will receive the information, then it will understand what you want, then it will give the directions to different part of the computer to execute the program. The major function of operating system is user identification and managing the resources by users. User identification and managing the resources used by resource. First thing is that user identification means, yes, you have some from passwords in your mobile, then it is the job of operating system to identify you that you are the authorized user. Thus, unauthorized users cannot use the computer. This is the first job of operating system. Then sharing of computer resources among many users. This happens when you are working in organizations and various, for example, a same particular printer is linked to different 5 and 6 people, 5 and 6 computers, and everybody is working. So it will receive multiple directions from multiple systems, right? This is called as multi-program. So more than one user will use that output system. A mix of programs can keep the whole memory occupied, all devices active, and control unit ALU constantly busy, thus increasing the utilization of hardware. Right, increasing utilization of hardware. Right. So multiple programmers means every components like all the devices and the control unit, ALU, everybody will be G, and that will increase utilization of hardware like a printer, like I have said. Then executive batches program, it executes the batches of programs one after another without human intervention. You don't need to intervene in every way of thing, right? You don't need to say that open that video, play the audio, play the video. I have clicked the already clicked the memory, click the video file in the memory. You don't have to say anything, right? Without human intervention. Even if you are just clicking it, then all the things will be ready, right? You are just clicking that I need a ticket, then all those things are automatically get ready, your name it is booked. So protection of user data and program, that is also the that is to provide security. It is one of the major important program nowadays. Nowadays there is a big challenge of cyber security and cyber fraud. Digital frauds have been increasing, right? Right to privacy is a fundamental right. There is also chances of violation of your data and privacy. So all these things are important nowadays. So protection of users data and programs, that is also the job of operating system. That's why if you take the example of your Android system or iOS system, it is claimed that iOS is more secure. It is a operating system. So how do you understand? There is just in the operating system and security features changes, right? And it is claimed that it is said that, or it is also it is true that iOS system is more secure as compared to your Android, as compared to Android system, because it is a developed operating system which can provide, which also uses to protect users data. And controlling and transfer of data and programs, controlling the transfer of data and programs between main memory and secondary storage and other input and output devices. Also transfer of data, the various files from that is from primary and secondary storage. Primary storage, I have already explained what are primary storage: ROM and RAM, right? ROM is a read-only memory. RAM, which is a inbuilt, which you cannot change. RAM is a random access memory, right? Secondary memory is your SD card and all these things. So bringing that from getting the access, if you want, so getting access a particular file from the secondary storage and coordinating with the output devices, all these jobs are done by the system software or the operating system. The providing programs to select appropriate translators. Appropriate translators are also important. What is appropriate translator? Earlier we will study language after just few minutes. Then here you will know what is the job of translators. Translators means computer do not understand the computer only understand the binary language. Even today computer only understand the binary language, right? But it is very difficult to give input in binary language. That's why we need a translator. Even if we write in English, then it will translate it to binary language and then it will give it to the computer, and the computer will receive the information in binary language, right? So here it is the job of the translators. Then it is the job of operating system also to um, make the translator work. Providing facility to detect and correct errors in a user's program. Suppose you are doing error, then suppose you are detecting or creating an error, uh, making a program, then it is the job of operating system to rectify it, right? So this is providing facilities to detect and correct errors in a user's program. So these are the various examples of working of operating system. First, let's revise a little immediately. First thing, that user identification. Second thing is the sharing of computer resources and utilization of multi utilization of various hardwares at the simultaneous time. Third is execution of batches of program one after another without human intervention. Four is protection of users data and programs. 5 is controlling of data and programs between input and main memory and secondary memory. Next, providing programs to select appropriate translators. The translator will translate the language from common language to binary language. Then providing facilities to detect and correct errors in a user's program. Right? This will also work in for error correction. This is the job of operating system, right? That may be iOS, that may be Android, The different type of operating system are there, and one is in Windows. Windows are used by around 68% of people in the world, right? Mostly used as operating system is Windows. Remember. Then computer language. Now we will study computer language. What do you mean by computer language? Why it is important computer language? Because computer run by various programs, right? How to write these programs? Right, we are earlier first we are written the write those language mm, in the primary language. Primary language means 0101, that is the binary system, right? Everything, if you write binary system, suppose you will write Bionic IS in binary system, it will take around 100 characters, so it will become so long. So if you want to write a complex thing, then it will need um, so many characters. And if you are writing, suppose if you are writing a program of 5 page or 10 page, there is chances that there will be wrong, there is high chances that there will be wrong. So this is a challenge with respect to binary system of binary system. Then what, this is the initial language, that is 0 and 1. This is the binary system. This is the first language, which is also called as machine language, because it is directly understood by the machine. Remember, it is directly understood by the machine. You do not need any type of translator to make the computer understand. Computer directly understand the zero binary system, that is 0 and 1, right? But what is the problem is that it will be so long, right? The characters will be so long. So what we have to do, then we have started next language of next type of language, that is by using mnemonic codes. Mnemonic codes means, in case of subtraction, you may write subtraction, add, addition. Similarly, we are using this type of language developed, that helps a little. Still, that is also very difficult, because you have to make mnemonic codes for every character. Let's see. We know that software is a set of computer programs. These computer programs will be written in the language in which computer understand, right? These computer programs will be written in the language what computer understand, right? Software is essential because software make the hardware to work, right? And these programs are written, and this is the set of programs is called a software. And what is this what is these programs are made up of by certain language that computer understand, right? If you want to get something done by the person, you will tell him what to do in a language he understand. Similarly, if you want to get some work done by computer, you have to tell the computer in a language that computer understand, that is the machine language. It is called as machine language or binary system. The machine language consists of only binary digits, that is 0 and 1. So that's why even if you are even when you are saying computer do a particular work, you must say him in binary language, that is 0 and 1, or machine language. It was felt quite difficult and tedious for human beings to think binary numbers. It is huge. As I have said, it will take 100 characters to write chain on by to write Bionic IS only, right? A single word will take around 100 characters. So it is very difficult. For communicating with the computers, it was saw that it is advisable to develop a third language, programming language, that can be understood by both human beings and the computer. Human being cannot understand the 010101 things or binary system. Thus, programming language set rules that provides way for instructing the computer to perform certain operations. Programming language are a set of rules that provides a way of instructing the computer to perform a certain of operations. And here it is said that we have to bring such a language that will be understood both by the human being and the computer. Programming languages are said to be lower or higher depending on their closer to language. Low level language, high level language. What will the difference? We will understand now, right? Depending on whether they are closer to the language which computer uses, that is 0 and 1. or the language to the people use. Higher means English, like right? English language, third generation language. The language which programs are written are called as programming languages. Programming languages. These are classified into three categories around. One is machine language, next is assembly language, and third is high level language. Initially, what we have studied 0 and 1, the binary system, that is machine language. Machine language is understood by the computer directly. But so far as assembly language, there will be one more, there will be assembler, right? That will convert the assembly language to the machine language by converting the mnemonic codes, right? That is assembly language. Third is high level language. High level language do not use any such codes. It uses direct conversation, right? You are writing in English, it will understand directly. That is high level language. Here translators are used, right? So both in case of assembly language and high level language, actually computer do not understand directly the assembly language or do not understand completely the high level language. So even if you are using a high level assembly language, then you have to convert the assembly language to the binary language, and you have to also convert the high level language to binary language to make the computer understand, because computer only understand binary languages. Then what are the assembly language? In the 1950s, to reduce the programming complexity and providing some standardization, assembly languages were developed. Assembly languages are also called as symbolic languages. They use memonic codes. Remember, symbolic languages or symbolic languages, they use memonic codes. As I have said, sub for subtraction, add for addition, right? Similarly, these are memonic codes, right? Very small codes that will make you understand about what is the thing. So they becomes easy as compared to 01, 01, 01, 01. Then actually assembly language do not replace machine language. Yes, it do not replace machine language. Assembly language program is executed. It must be converted into machine code. It converts, there is something a machine which converts the assembly language into machine language, and ultimately computer understand the thing by machine language, not by assembly language. The assembly language program is referred to as source program. A machine language program is called as object program. That means ultimately the objective or the goal will reached by object program, that is done by the machine language. Assembly language code is very similar to for machine language code. Very similar to for machine language code. In fact, assembly language had one of the correspondence, which means 15 assembly statements would be translated into 15 machine language statements. This is one-to-one correspondence was still laborious. However, assembly language instructions called as micro instructions were devised and executed, which executed batches from one-to-one instructions. So this is assembly language and machine language. We studied that one by one. The assembly language are translated into machine language, and computer only understand the binary system. We do not understand assembly language. There is something called as assembler that remains present. What are the advantages of assembly language? First, they are more standardized. They are more standardized, right? Not 901, 01, 01. They are more standardized and easier to use in the machine. They operate very efficiently. Obviously, they are more efficiently as compared to the machine language, where it is 0 and 1. Although not efficient as a machine. See, there are two things here, which is efficient for machine and which is efficient for human being. The assembly language is good for the human being, but not for the machine, because machine cannot directly access to the assembly language. They are converted by an assembler. So you can write that it is not efficient for the machine, but it is efficient for the human beings. They are easier to debug, or that is to understand what is it is written. However, there are still disadvantages. Assembly language programs very usually very long. Even assembly language programs are very long and difficult to debug. Though the less abstract the machine languages, assembly language programs are still complex. So more standardized than medicine language, assembly language are still machine dependent. Assembly language are still machine dependent. Machine independent, they are not independent because assembly language cannot be directly understood by the computer, right? One more machine is needed there to make it understand. Then what are the high level languages? We understood that there is problem with machine languages, right? Because they are too lengthy, and assembly language is also lengthy, although it is not lengthy by like the binary system. It is still lengthy, it is very difficult to debug as well, right? Then we needed high level language. What is this high level languages? They help programmers by reducing the further number of computer operations, right? Because it directly they have to specify, they don't they because they detail have to specify so that they could concentrate more on logic rather than to solve the problem. Languages are often referred to as generations idea, or that machine language uses first generation and assembly language as second generation. So these are high level language. High level language is better than the, it is the third generation language that is better than the assembly language. Here these memonic codes like subtraction, addition or multiplication, all these things, these memonic codes are not used in third level language. Directly it will understand the English, right? You will write English and that will directly understand by the computer. It is not actually directly understand, that will get converted into machine language. Suppose you will write English word, then that will converted into machine language, and after it converted into machine language in binary, then computer understands. But for the user it becomes easy because you do not have to write the programs with mnemonic codes. Lack of languages are often referred to as generations. The idea being that machine language were the first generation and assembly language were the second generation. Machine languages are the first generation language. Assembly language are second generation language. High level language are called as third generation languages, right? Some are procedural oriented third generation and problem oriented fourth generation and natural or fifth generation. There are different type of generation. One is procedural oriented, third is problem oriented, third is natural or fifth generation languages. We'll understand one by one in the high level languages. Procedural language, they have many advantages over the machine and machine languages. They perform statement resemble English language, right? Hence easier to work. You just tell the computer with English language, it will convert it to binary and understand. Because of the English like nature, less time is required to develop a program. So develop a program, less time is required. One coded programs are easier to understand and modify. Programs become easier to understand and modify and becomes time effective as well. The procedural languages are machine independent. The procedural languages are machine independent. They have no relationship with that. They will just write in English and it is job of another device which will convert it into machine language. However, procedure oriented language still have some disadvantages. Programs are executed more slowly. Why programs are executed more slowly? Because computers cannot understand directly from the third party, right? Because computer only understand binary language. So even if you are writing in English, it is a job of fast. Another device will convert it into binary language, then computer will understand. So that's why it is the so here. So that's why programs are executed more slowly. The languages use computer resources less efficiently. Why? Because it takes time for the machine to convert the English language to the machine language or binary language. Problem-oriented language or application generation. The third generation language such as Basic or Pascal require you to instruct the computer step by step fashion. Fourth generation language, also known as problem-oriented languages, are high-level languages. They are called as high-level language, problem-oriented languages, designed to solve specific problems or develop specific applications by enabling you describe what you want rather than step-by-step procedure. You just have to tell what you want. For example, if you want to, you can say that Alexa play this song. You just have to say that play this song. Then it is the job of the fourth generation languages to automatically search those songs from memory and then they will play, right, all the things. So it performs multiple functions. You just have to tell your concern, it automatically will perform multiple functions because they are governed by fourth generation language or highly high level language such as Basic or Pascal. Then what are natural languages? Natural languages are still in the developmental stages. They are promise high profound effect, particularly in areas artificial intelligence expert system. Natural languages have two characters. They are designed to make connection that humans have with computers and natural more human like. Right, the natural language are the most developed. Why they are most developed? Because they will understand the human language as well completely. Even if you are speaking Odia, they will understand Odia. Even if you speak Hindi, they will speak understand Hindi. They will understand all the languages that is based on artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence means machine learning, and by machine learning means it will observe itself and learn. You don't need to feed everything, it will observe itself and learn. They are designed to allow computer to become smarter, to actually simulate the learning process by remembering and improving often earlier information. Two popular natural languages are Lisp and Prolog. They are smarter, right? They will learn themselves. If they like the child learns everything uh, by just by watching and see the in watching the behavior of all the elders, and it say that a table because elders are saying it is a stable. Similarly, the fifth generation languages or the natural languages, it is um, by this language computer will understand itself, it will gain knowledge itself by observing the things, right? This will make the application of artificial language and artificial intelligence. So these are various types of languages we have studied. First we studied the machine language, which is the binary system, that is the original language which a computer understand. Then we study the assembly language where we need an assembler that will convert the memonic codes. Memonic codes means addition, subtraction, add, sub, all these small codes that represent a particular thing. And the mnemonic codes are used, or assembly language. This assembly language, they are called a second generation language. They convert these things to binary system or fast generation language. Then the computer understands. So it is, so far as inefficiency inside computer is concerned, fast generation language is the most efficient. Then there is assembler, and third generation language, it consists of this will understand English, right? This will understand English language. It will better than the second and first generation language because you don't have to write the mnemonic codes. You don't have to spend so much time in programming. You'll just write in English and the computer will understand it. Actually, computer will not understand it. It will convert it into binary system. Then it will understand it. That is the third generation language. Fourth generation language, you just have to tell your concern what you want, and the computer will do all its tasks. That is fourth generation language. They are more smarter than the third generation language. Then fifth generation language, the natural language that is based on the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means what? Machine learning. It will itself learn various machine processes by observation, like a child observing in his lifetime and know many things. Similarly, these natural languages will make computer to learn themselves. The examples of natural languages are Lisp and Prolog. Next, then compilers and interpreters. What are the compilers and interpreters? These are this they right. See here two things. For a high level language to work in the computer, it is must be translated into machine language. I have already said a computer only understand a binary system or binary language. So even if you are using high level language, fourth level language, fifth level language, third level language, you have to convert it into machine language. There are two kinds of translator. One is compilers and interpreters. What are the difference between compilers and interpreters? Now we'll learn what is this compilers and what are these interpreters. High level languages are either compiled languages or interpreted languages. In a compiled language translated program run to convert the high level language program, which is source code, into a machine language code. Thus, translation process is called as compilation. In case of compilation, what happens? Compilation means it will compile all the content and that will convert it into machine language. That is compiler, right? The machine language code is called object code and can be saved and either run immediately or later. Some of the most widely used compiled language are COBOL, C++, Fortran. All these are compiled languages. They will compile all of the content you are giving as input, and they will translate into the machine language, and this will not happen automatically. This will happen in compiled manner. They are called as compilers. And so far as interpreters are concerned, they convert to machine language one by one. In an interpreter language, translate program convert each program statement into machine code. Right, one by one program is executed and it will transport each content in machine code just before the program statement to be executed. Translation and execution occur immediately, one after another and one statement at a time. So it is not like compiler. It will translate one after another. Unlike the compiled language, no object code is stored. There is no compilation. The most frequent and used interpreted language is basic. The most frequently used interpreted language is basic. Here translation is done immediately, one by one, not as only a compiler from. So this is compiler and interpreter. Compiled languages are better than interpreted languages. Why? Because as they can be executed faster, because immediately they are compiled and converted into the binary language system efficiently. One of the object code has been obtained. On the other hand, interpreted languages do not need to create any object code, so usually it is easier to develop and test. Interpreted languages are easy to develop, but the fact is that they are not efficient. Why they are not efficient? Because they have to convert each and every sentence to make the computer understand the basic or to make the computer understand the uh, to make the computer understand the binary languages. So these are the all type of languages. We have already discussed what is compiler, what is interpreter. If you have any doubt, you may ask immediately. Let me see if there is any doubts. You can ask again, I may explain it. See if there is any doubts. Ask again, explain it. Okay, so for today, this much uh, we have discussed the operating system and the different types of languages, and we have also discussed what is compiler and what is interpreter. Right. So for today, so thank you for attending this class. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to Manik IS. Encourage us to continue this program. Thank you.